We are welcome to today's class, and I will just be helping us with our Waec biology practical preparation. So these are the specimen on the board. So Specimen A is being weevil, Specimen B being seed with O, Specimen C water leaf plant, Specimen D quail feather of domestic fowl, Specimen E is pineapple fruit, that's the longitudinal section. Specimen F is orange fruit, the transverse section. Specimen G is the raw egg of domestic fowl. And Specimen H is a test tube containing 3 ml of water inside the test tube rack. And Specimen J is the longitudinal section of boiled egg. So now let's start with the Specimen A. Specimen A is the bean weevil, and they are under the kingdom Animalia and the phylum Arthropoda. The kingdom Animalia and the phylum Arthropoda, and they belong to the class Insecta. So they belong to the class Insecta, and these are their general characteristics. Their body is divided into 3 parts. That's the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. They have pairs of jointed leg. They have 1 pair of antenna. And respiration is by trachea. And they have exoskeleton composed of chitin. So now let's move to the morphology of Specimen A. When I'm talking about morphology, I'm talking about the observable external feature of Specimen A. So we can see that the body is compact and robust. It is compact and robust, and also has a cylindrical body shape. And then it is brown or reddish brown in color. And then they possess adding 4 wings. They also have 3 pairs of legs. And their mode of feeding is biting and chewing. And they also undergo complete metamorphosis. Now let's quickly talk about the economic importance of Specimen A. The first thing that they do is that they reduce seed viability, and they cause reduction in seed quality. So it makes them unmarketable or unsellable in the market, and they also increase the storage cost. So this is the diagram of Specimen A. So you can screenshot this video to look at it. So that's Specimen A. So now let me quickly talk on Specimen B. So Specimen B is bean seed with O's. So the beans is under the kingdom Plantae and the division Spermatophyta. So for the kingdom Plantae, we don't use phylum for them. We use division, and they are dicot. So let's now look at general characteristics of dicot. The first one is that they have 2 seed leaves or cotyledon. They have a net venation. Their vascular bundles are arranged. They have a taproot system, and they exhibit a pygia germination. So those are just the general characteristics of the dicotyledonous plants. So now let's look at the implications of O's in Specimen B. So what are the implications of O's? Those O's in Specimen B. The first implication is that it causes loss of seed viability. So the seed are no longer viable, reduction in market value, post-harvest losses, and they may contain insect waste. So they may contain insect waste and promote fungal growth. So now let's look at ways to prevent these damages. The first one is airtight storage. Then the second one is proper drying before storage. then sun drying or heat treatment. Then we also have regular inspection. So I deliberately did not put the picture of specimen B there because I'm not sure that they will ask you to draw that of specimen B. I'm not sure that they ask you to draw specimen B. Now let's look at specimen C. That's water leaf plant, and the scientific name is Talinum triangulare. So they are soft, non-wooden plants. They have simple leaves. So if you look at their the leaf structure, if you look at the diagram, they have simple leaves. Look at the shape. Look at the shape of those leaves. Those shapes are called ovates, and they also have an opposite arrangement along the stem, and their flowers are clusters as inflorescence. So, and then leaves are succulent, and then the type of fruit that they have is capsule, which contains many seeds. So economic importance of specimen C. So it is high in vitamin A, C, and iron. Then it also has some medicinal properties, anti-inflammation, and some anti-diabetic properties, and it also serves as a source of food. And if it serves as a source of food, it can also serve as source of foreign exchange. So this is the diagram of specimen C. So you can look at it, Talinum triangulare, and they are also dicot. They are dicot too, but I do not want to repeat the characteristic of dicot. I've mentioned that before, so you can check up for that. So now specimen D. Specimen D is the quill feather of domestic fowl, and the function in domestic fowl is that they provide insulation, protection, and aerodynamic lift during flight. They also aid in displayed behavior and species recognition. So this is just the diagram of specimen C with the labeling. So look at it very well. And also let's quickly talk about the kingdom that this specimen D belongs to. They belong to the kingdom Animalia, the phylum Chordata, and then the class is Aves. So you can just quickly know some of the characteristics of their class. So quickly know some of the characteristics of their class. So let's now look at some of the differences between specimen C and D. So that's Talinum triangulare and the quill feather of domestic fowl. Sometimes I just deliberately do this because sometimes Waec might ask some funny differences. So these are the differences. Specimen C grows from the soil as a living thing, while specimen D is derived from the body of a bird. The function of specimen C, they carry out photosynthesis, food, and nutrition, while the function of specimen D, flight, insulation, and serve as protection. And therefore specimen C, they are made up of parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma tissues, while specimen D are made up of keratin, which is a protein. And the mode of nutrition is that specimen C reproduces by seed, while specimen D does not reproduce. So now let's move to specimen E. Specimen E, I'm sure that you can see the diagram of specimen, the picture. Let me call it picture rather. The picture of specimen E. You can screenshot this for more clarity. Specimen E. So they have a multiple or composite fruits. So that's something about specimen C. They have a multiple or composite fruits. That's the category of their fruit. So the fruit is also thick, juicy when ripe, and they are covered with hexagonal scales. hexagonal stem, and they have some green leaves at the top. Is a pack of green leaf at the top. They are usually thick like this. They are usually called crowns. So these crowns are the one used for vegetative propagation. So the mode of reproduction in pineapple fruit is vegetative propagation. So they might ask you just know that the mode of reproduction is vegetative propagation. Now specimen F. Specimen F is orange fruit. Is a simple fruit compared to the pineapple that is a multiple fruit. So that's one of the difference, and it's also a berry, while pineapple is sorosis. So you can know those are some of the differences. I just decided not to put some of these things there, but you have to read ahead too about the orange. They are rich in vitamin C. That's the main vitamin that they are rich in. So now let's just quickly look at this table here. Look at this table here to know the differences between the orange and the pineapple. You can see that orange is a type of berry. You can see the mode of propagation, that the orange is propagated by seed, mostly seed or grafting, while pineapple is vegetative propagation. So you can just look at it, presence of seeds and absence of seed. Just look at it, look at the difference. You can screenshot it for that one. So now let's now move to specimen G. So specimen G is the raw egg of domestic fowl. The raw egg of domestic fowl. So these are some of the observable features of specimen G. So they have a hard outer shell. They have a translucent abdomen. They have a yellow or orange yolk and also airspace. So assuming that they ask us about the observable features, this is the observable features. Just quickly note that, and this is the diagram. So look at the diagram. The yolk, the air cell, the abdomen. So that's the diagram. So that's for specimen G. And the way I'm looking at this question, this why I brought out their specimen this year, most likely you also be able to carry out Waec test on specimen G. Waec test we use to test for protein. Test for protein. And if you notice something, the specimen H is a test tube containing water. So they might properly ask you to break specimen G, to break it and use that syringe. They also ask us to provide a syringe too. You put that syringe inside the test tube that contains water. So if you mix them together, you see that specimen G is actually insoluble in water. Then they might now ask us to put copper 2 tetraoxide 6 there, that's CuSO4. And once you put CuSO4, normally the color of CuSO4 is blue, but when you now put the CuSO4 to this solution here, it will turn to violet or purple. So that actually means the presence of protein. So that's the Waec test. And then the differences between specimen G and G, that's raw egg and boiled egg. So you can see it. One is intact and uncracked. One shows cracked during boiling, clear and viscous and running. One is white and firm. So you can just quickly observe the difference. So very soon I will be doing for physics and chemistry too. So I wish you best of luck in your examination. Thank you and have a wonderful examination. Bye bye.